What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. I'm not entirely sure where I really want to go with this video, where I want to take this video. But you know, we're going to roll with it. So this is the first video back from since the World Championships, and hopefully you've seen it. If not, you know, I became the IPF Junior World Champion in the under 120 kilo class, and you know, I wanted to wait a couple of weeks after the championship, which I did. The championship was 15 days ago, I believe. Yeah, it was 15 days ago, and you know, I thought I wanted to kind of come to terms with things a little bit more, maybe let things sink in a wee bit, you know, and all in all, just gather my thoughts about the experience before I did the video. However, the overwhelming emotion that's being evoked to me is surrealness, you know, which obviously isn't an emotion, but you know, that's what kind of things feel like. You know, it just doesn't really feel entirely real that what's happened has actually happened. You know, you know, I literally have spent the entire adult life, you know, since I was 16 years old. You know, I'm now 22 or 22 and a half. You know, I've literally spent my entire adult life, you know, the past 6 years of my life, dreaming about this one moment. You know, that I cannot tell you, there has not been a single day of my life, and you know, quite frankly, there's probably not been a single hour of my life or of my conscious life that I haven't thought about becoming a world champion. You know, and it has been a real dream of mine. You know, and that, you know, the amount of times that I have on YouTube wrote in the title, so in the title box, you know, Mark McQueen, IPF World Champion, has been unreal. You know, as you know, as visualization cues, and for that to come true, you know, you can spend a whole lifetime thinking you're going to be ready, and you know, I personally have visualized all these different scenarios and how things are going to go and how things are going to work and how it's going to be like and how I'm going to feel. And you think you're so ready for something to happen, and then when it happens, you don't realise just how unready you actually are, or how unready I was. You know, I just was not ready for it. You know, and I'm not sure why. I don't know why. I can't tell you why. I'm incredibly proud of the achievement. I'm incredibly pleased of the achievement. You know, it's brought me many different emotions. You know, elation, excitement. You know, it's brought. You know, there's been tears shed, euphoria. You know, everything in between. It's just been so cool. So I'll quickly show you the medals that I got. So the medals are really cool. I really like the medals, actually. So this is the silver medal in the squat. So I got the silver medal in the squat. Me and Jackson Spencer both squatted 327.5 kilos, but he got the gold medal in bodyweight. So I got the silver in the squat. On the bench press, I didn't get a medal because my bench is not its final form yet. This is the gold medal in the deadlift. So I got the gold medal in the deadlift with 327.5 kilos. So that was a gold medal in the deadlift, and then this is the gold medal in the total. So that's the size difference. It's cool, man. They're heavy, you know. They're really heavy duty, you know, and really cool medals. Much better than the medals from Worlds last year. The medals from Worlds last year were actually quite, you know, cheap and tacky in my opinion. But you know, that's a discussion for another thing, you know. But where I want to go with this video is, first of all, you know, where I want to go with this video is not to try and make this into a motivational video. I don't believe in motivational videos. Now, I watch quite a lot of motivational speakers and whatnot, but I don't believe someone can be motivated who is an unmotivated individual. If you can be motivated by a video, I believe that video or what that person is saying motivates you because something that they or that person says resonates with something deep inside you. You've already had those thoughts and those feelings and those beliefs, and just from someone else speaking about them and maybe putting it in a different way, you know, really resonates and hits home with you. But, you know, you can't be motivated if you're not a motivated person. So, you know, motivational videos don't necessarily work. I think they can be a good tool if you are watching something that resonates deep inside of you. But, you know, what I want to say is, you know, I've literally documented my entire powerlifting journey on this channel, which is really, really cool, you know, actually. From literally you go back to 2014 when I started this YouTube channel. My first ever squat was a 230 kilogram squat, which is like 505 pounds. It was high, it was sloppy, and it wasn't a very good squat. It was very difficult, you know. And you know, the first, you know, I don't believe, and it went from that to literally becoming, you know, an IPF world champion, which is, you know, the pinnacle of my sport. You know, it's surreal. But what I wanted to say is, you know, if nothing about me, I believe, from a talent perspective, is the reason that I did what I did. And that's what I want to kind of say, you know. The thing is that if you watch, you know, the whole powerlifting journey, you know, I am not special. I would not say I'm overly gifted. What I would say is I would not say I'm more special or more gifted than any of the other lifters that graced the platform as me. If anything, I would probably say, you know, those lifters very well might be more gifted than I am as a lifter, you know, genetically as a lifter. What I would say is I absolutely outworked everybody in the world, you know, and you know, I was willing to do more and put myself through things that other people in the world were just not willing to do. I literally, you know, have worked, you know, I've had my own business, and you know, it's built it from nothing to being very, you know, very, very successful. You know, it's doing really, really well. I have also, for the past 3.5 years, which I will be stopping in 3 weeks, because I just don't need to do it anymore, and I've only been doing it, you know, more so out of habit. I've been working as a door steward for the past 3.5 years. I've been working as a bouncer at weekends on Fridays and Saturdays for the past 3 years. You know, I did that so that I could have some more disposable income, so I could afford 1 to 2 massages a week, an osteopathic appointment a week, hypnosis appointments, things like that. You know, I have, you know, set up my lifestyle, you know, so I could now start training 2 sessions a day. So I was doing double sessions, you know. I was doing double sessions for the past, honestly, so many years. I have never missed a session, never missed a rep, done double sessions, counted water intake every day, always stuck to my nutrition every single day. I have not, before the World Championships, I had not drank in 4 years. I had not had a night out in like 4 years. I never, every week, had an osteopath appointment, my massage appointment. I was getting hypnosis appointments. I was never missing recovery work, always doing contrast showers, you know, supplementation, everything, every single day was totally, you know, on point. And I'm not saying that that is good and that is to be sought after, because it's not. It is so extreme and it lacks so much balance that, you know, a lot of people would say that's not healthy, you know. But what I would say is, and as Conor McGregor says, you know, this isn't talent, this is ridiculous and sickening work ethic and ridiculous obsession, you know, total obsession and total sickening work ethic, you know. And I genuinely believed that I genuinely am in this position because I have just outworked everybody else that has came up against me, you know. And the reason I'm saying this is because, you know, if someone is watching this who maybe has a goal or a dream, you know, whatever that may be, I want to use myself as an example that, you know, you genuinely can do that. And I'm not saying you need to be a powerlifter, you know, that's, you know, fuck that, you know, whatever you want to do, you know, whatever you want to do, that's up for you to decide. But whatever you want to do, Do not ever let somebody tell you you can't do that. Don't even let yourself tell you can do it, because you can. And you can revert back to this video, and you can revert back to me and using me as an example. You know, if you are willing to have if you are willing to be totally and utterly obsessed with this, and totally and just have a sickening work ethic and do everything every single day of your life, you will do that. It might take you a year, it might even take you 10 years. I don't know how long it would take you, but I promise you, you would be able to do it. And again, I'm not trying to motivate you. For some wee kid or some 16-year-old is watching this video, if I want this to resonate and really hit home with you, and that is kind of what I wanted to kind of get my point across. In regards to this video, I also would like to encourage the spotlight away from myself, and I would like to encourage it onto many people that made this happen. My coach since day one, Ben Rice, 122 weeks. The gratitude to have towards that dude is unbelievable. Since working with Ben, we've become 2-time Scottish champion, a 2-time British champion, an IPF European champion, and ultimately we became an IPF world champion, which is something less than 1% of people do. We've also had a silver medal in the European Championships. We've stood on the podium at the World Championships. Those were both our first time. And that's another thing, just because it doesn't work out the first time doesn't mean it won't work out. I never won my first European Championships. I never won my first World Championships. I didn't get discouraged. I didn't get demotivated. Instead, I let the fire burn even more. And look, I went from being a silver medalist and standing on the podium at Euros and Worlds to then the next year winning the European Championships and the World Championships. You genuinely can do whatever you want to do as long as you are willing to do what it takes and willing to do what's necessary. And I truly, really believe that. Furthermore, I'd like to, again, like I said, going back to earlier about encouraging the spotlight, Ben Rice, my coach, just unbelievable. My osteopath, Guy Murray, my sports massage therapist, Susie, a mentor of mine, and someone who inspires me massively, a really good friend, and someone who does my hypnosis, Ronnie Simpson, Outcast Barbell Sanctuary, and every single individual in there, just could not have done it without them. Lawrence James and everybody else on the GB squad and team. They were the reason that I put that performance together, because they were the ones that he played that game perfectly. All the GB team, Josh Greenfield and Luke Richardson. When I'm sitting in a ridiculously scalding hot salt bath with 2.5 kilos of water to cut at 2 hours before weigh-ins, which was the plan, but it's not nice. They sat in there with me when they didn't need to, making sure I stayed in there and showing support. Thank you to all of the athletes that I work with, that allow me to live this lifestyle, but furthermore, that I have friendship in and develop really meaningful relationships in, and just genuinely inspire me every day, seeing how well they do. My friends and family. There's so many people to thank, and I'd like to encourage the spotlight onto them, because without them this wouldn't have been possible. It really, really wouldn't have. And it's surreal. It really is surreal. And I know this video maybe might not make that much sense, and maybe back and forth a little bit. I'd like to thank everybody that watches this YouTube channel for the past 3-4 years. Your support has been awesome. It really, really has, and I've really, really enjoyed putting up this content for all of you. I'm not that interested in being a big YouTube channel or being famous one. I'm not really into that kind of stuff. I'm quite an introverted and quiet guy. Like to keep myself to myself to an extent. But the support and whatnot that you all given me has been phenomenal. And we did it. We literally just did it. We became IPF World Champion, and it's insane. It's not the end. We've got the Commonwealths, we've got the British. We're moving up a weight class next year, and we're going to win an IPF world title in the open category. It might take 10 years, might take 15, might take 20, but we will get there. We will do it. It will take time, and again, being very discouraged is going to happen. This prep leading up to the Worlds has been so discouraging. My body broke down on many occasions, you know, when pushing the boat to the point that I was. You know, sometimes things go wrong, and I had many discouraging factors, you know, many injuries, you know, sprained AC joint on both shoulders, you know, some rib issues, some sternum issues, some lower back issues, you know, lots of little things, you know, that aren't serious in the grand scheme of things, but definitely, you know, cause some discouragement, because you want everything to go perfectly. And I found myself getting very, very discouraged, but again, just keep showing up. Do what you can do every single day, and just keep showing up and keep showing up and keep showing up. And eventually your time will come. And that's all I've got to say. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you in the next video.